Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, President and founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Standup. So without any further ado, let's get started. So it's another one of our Friday episodes. So it's an agile, not so agile episode where we're going to talk about something that's uplifting, something that's energizing, something that's going to help end your week on a positive note so that you can go into a weekend with positive vibes and so that you can feel real good about kicking off your week next week. So today I was sent an article and I wanted to review this with you. It talks about companies that are making a difference in the world today. Now, we all know stories of different companies. For example, Tata Consulting, where the Tata family does magnificent things for the community of India, including bringing low-price automobiles and computers and other things to homes in India so that the people of India can have experiences that allow them to feel as if they're first-class citizens as opposed to feeling like they're in a third world country. And I really admire and respect the Tata family for their dignity in helping, or for their diligence in helping bring dignity. That's where I was going, to the people of India, right? But I wanted to tell you a couple of stories about success where people have given back here in the United States. So, of course, if you haven't heard of these stories, this is just something to warm your heart and let you know where I stand. You'll often hear me say that when we lose ourselves in the service of others is when we learn the most about ourselves. So I want to talk to you about Tom's. So the creator of Tom's was inspired to start the company after a trip they made to Argentina. During his trip, he realized that there are still many, many children whose families were just too poor to afford shoes. So he started out with 250 pair of shoes in 2006. And it was a combination of a great product design and this compelling mission to get shoes on children that proved massively successful. So 7 years after he started the company, his business was valued at $625 million. And they've given away, are you ready for this? More than 60 million pairs of shoes. But I want to make sure I give you this quote. This came from the founder of the company. He says, Tom's doesn't have any ad spend at all. A big portion of our spend goes on giving. But by giving, we build a community, and people recommend through word of mouth and on social media based on our diligence in following and pursuing a dream of putting shoes on every child who's without shoes. What an awesome mission. What an awesome place to be. I think that when companies really can hone in and figure this out, that this is just craziness, and it's a good place to be. So I want to share another one because this is just, it's uplifting me already. I got chill bumps already, right? So the second one I want to tell you about is one that's less known. It's called John's Crazy Socks. I don't know if you ever heard of it before, but the story of this quirky business had the work for good. It had everyone smiling for days. It truly is a work for a mission to provide happiness through socks of all things. So with that being said, this business was started by a gentleman named John Cronin and his father, Mark. The business was inspired by John's love for wearing crazy socks and his father's desire to help him build a place in a world in which many people with Down syndrome are excluded. So in a little over a year, they shipped more than 42,000 orders of socks and brought in $1.7 million in revenue. For every single sock sold, they donate 5% to Special Olympics. It's an example of how a successful startup business, which provides hope and inspiration to people who are special needs, can give back and provide opportunities for people who are special needs to participate in things like Special Olympics. What a powerful, powerful statement. The next one I wanted to talk about is a company called Life is Good. And brothers Bert and John Jacobs started out selling t-shirts from a van in their hometown in Boston, Massachusetts. Business was slow until they hit upon an iconic design and a slogan, Life is Good. They now sell these Life is Good t-shirts throughout outlets, retail outlets worldwide, all over the world. Doing good is at the heart of what they do. They donate 10% of their profits to support children in need. By giving back, they receive loyal and passionate customers, and this benefits their bottom line as well as it benefits society. Where am I going with this? I think it's time for everyone to give back. Many people don't know this about AgileDad, I'm my company, but we, right off the top of the income that we make, we give 10% back to charitable causes through a church organization that sees to it that that money's put to good use, to the best use, whether it's helping people who are in areas stricken by tsunamis or earthquakes or tornadoes or hurricanes or whatever, anywhere in the world where a disaster happens, whether it's using those funds to establish a mission of sorts where people can go and get wheelchairs or crutches or things that they need in order to survive, whether it's building small kits to help people who are in bad need or homeless or whatever the case may be. I'm proud to say that we always try to look out for the betterment of others. And I think that organizations that do take and set aside money for charitable giving are in general going to be more successful than organizations who don't. So, my challenge for you isn't necessarily to find an organization and donate money, because I don't want to go there. I think my challenge for you this week is to find a way to uplift others, whether it's taking 10% out of your time the next week and spending it with your kids or your family or doing something special and carving out that time, or whether it's taking 10% of the total that you spend on food for the week and donating it to a homeless shelter or a food bank to try to help people who are in need of meals, whether it's whatever it is that you can do, whether it's taking 10% of your time and donating it back to Habitat for Humanity or through a soup kitchen where you could serve food, the Ronald McDonald House. There's lots of opportunities to serve. And I think that sometimes we don't take the time or make the effort to find ways to give back. So my hope is that we can instill hope. My dream is that we can dream a little harder and that we can make life possible for people who are less fortunate than us. So much like we can follow in the footsteps of the Life is Good company or John's Crazy Socks or Tom's, there's so many other companies I could have named. I want to make sure I point that out. But those were the first three that came to my mind. And what a powerhouse of companies to be able to give back in a way that they do. And I think it's awesome. And I encourage you to find ways to give back as well. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope things continue to go your way. I hope the windows of heaven are open and blessings are poured upon you for all the goodness that you're providing and giving to the world. And as always, I encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.